morning and welcome to the Legit Real Estate Podcast. I am TJ Shofi. I'm here as always with Holly Regoli. Holly, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm terrific. You look lovely as always, even though I can't really look at you very much because I'm coming to you live from the highway right now.
Again, you're gonna get. Hopefully you'll get here safely. But
I'm
look
gonna
at
get there, and then I think I'm gonna join you in the phone booth. I think because I love the new background. That was like a crowning achievement last week when we found the background, and of course the first week we have access to it, I'm not present. Terrible, just terrible time management.
It's okay. We'll make it work. We're realtors, right?
We got something exciting today. Tell the people.
I'm so excited. We've got a guest, and she's an awesome guest. We've got Deb Gianini here. Hi, Deb.
Morning.
Good morning.
So here we are. I wanted to thank TJ so much for being courageous enough to be in a podcast with two alpha women.
Well, Holly and I are sharing a brain at this point, so you're the only one I'm worried about.
So listen, TJ, on the way in this morning, I'm driving thinking of content, and I'm like, everyone on the show has eyes in their last name.
Bunch of wops.
We could call it that.
But what's funny,
I think YouTube would ban us if we did that.
it's so not anywhere near Italian either.
Yeah, you are. You are to me, Holly. You are to me.
I am so not. I am 100% French Canadian. And but it's funny because I was starting to think of all the guests we've had. Our first guest was Elise Jasmondi, and then we had Ken Tessitore, and then we've had Dana Pizzarelli.
Yeah, so there's a theme here.
We're eating good at the Legit Real Estate Podcast. Deb, so this is really exciting to have you. So what we're doing is basically telling stories, and you have some of the best stories at our company for sure. So, Holly, I don't know if you want to ask her a particular story that you're interested in, but I'm just curious to hear what kind of shit you're dealing with out there because it's wild.
Well, I know Deb kind of gave me a little insight on some of the things that she was looking to talk about. I really want to hear about, now they're getting closer to Halloween. I want to hear the crazy spooky one first.
Okay, so I was coming in this morning and I'm thinking about, because there's so many, right? So one story I'd love to share with you is I listed a multifamily in Providence, and I had one of my close friends who's a realtor with me when we started touring the property before we got it ready for photography. And the first day we went there, so there was a tenant on the first floor and second and third floor were vacant. So we go up to the third floor, and as we're looking, it's empty, but there was something in the closet. So we open up the closet, and there's a person cremated. Mr. Johnson was in the closet. So it freaked us both out because we've not run into anything. Like, it's like somebody moved and left Mr. Johnston behind, right? So funny thing is, we went back a couple of days later, and he was in the closet on the second floor. So he went from the third floor to the second floor. Now, let's face it, perhaps it was the first floor tenant that did that, but it was pretty spooky. And I was a new realtor at the time, so I really couldn't make sense. We ended up calling the crematorium that was listed on the beautiful container and returned him back to the crematorium. So that was just kind of a weird thing, but
he's just moving around all by himself.
Yeah,
that's creepy.
A little bit. And then I was just thinking of just other ridiculous things that happened, but there was another time that I had a buyer on a property, and let me tell you, one of the best things about this property was the garage door. The garage door was just gorgeous, right? So the morning comes of the walkthrough, and we arrive there to do the walkthrough, and the seller, in haste to go to the airport, was leaving. And he legit drove through the garage door while we were all standing there. And it was insane. And it was like a very, it was like just all carved. It was something, you can't just go by this garage door. So like, these are the things that happen.
So how did you handle that? Like, this is like, so closing on a house, he's getting ready to leave. Like, what do you do at that moment?
Yeah, so the realtor on the other side was a great realtor as well. So we ended up coming to an agreement where we we escrowed money for it, and then they had it actually repaired. It was repairable, but it didn't look it at the time. So that was just like another, the stuff that happens when we're getting ready to go to walkthroughs is insane though, isn't it?
It is,
Oh my God.
and that's when you like have no time to fix anything. You really have to react on your feet.
Yes.
That's like, that reminds me of those commercials. Remember those commercials? Want to get away? Like, imagine being that poor bastard that just busted up his garage door.
Oh my God. And
Garage
one other
doors are not
thing,
cheap.
not that this was scary, but I almost reacted not in a good way because it was so awful, but I was selling this very high-end property. And in the lower level of this property was a huge game room with a gigantic pool table. And when the buyers came through, the husband couldn't speak highly enough about this pool table. Like he wanted is the pool table staying, all about the pool table. So we made the deal that the pool table would stay. And I was a newer realtor at the time, so I didn't get documents to back up that agreement because
Oh
it's
no.
the pool table, right? Like the
Yeah.
guy's begging for it. Do you know, again, the morning of the walkthrough, they come through and the husband said, "Oh, how come the pool table is still here?" I'm like, what is going on? And he had mentioned it to his realtor that he decided he didn't want it, but they never told me that. So
Oh,
yeah, that's another fun story.
so let me ask you this. I've had it before, especially with washers and dryers.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of miscommunication about them because sometimes they'll be listed on the disclosures, but they're not listed in the offer. They're not on the sales agreement. And I don't know why people have this attachment to washers and dryers. They're the cheapest appliance and they burn out in like 5 years.
Right.
But a lot of times you go to a walkthrough and something's there that doesn't belong there, or something's missing that doesn't belong there. How do you like to handle that? Like generally?
So how do I handle it?
Yeah. Like, are
So
we going to delay the closing until someone gets this
no,
washer and dryer back, or
no. So we never,
yeah.
the goal is to close, right? And there's always a way to handle it. And I guess staying calm is the first thing. But when you really think about it, money talks. And sometimes, if I had one time where the dryer didn't work, and my guy was a first time home buyer, and the dryer wasn't working, so we ended up getting money off of the seller for like $300 to replace the dryer. But yeah, sometimes there's big stuff left behind, and it's just a matter of negotiating, sometimes right up till the end to get it to close. So we're creative. We have people. So we
Well, more
call our
often than
people.
not, we'll have things left behind. Like I closed on a property and I had a couple, I didn't know they were getting divorced and they were both moving to different states. And I
Oh,
showed up the day of the closing and all their furniture was out on the front lawn. And I'm like, you can't just leave it there. So I went and got my trailer and we packed up whatever we could and then I had a trash company come and get the rest and my clients paid for it. But you it
uh,
never ceases to amaze me.
so another
unfortunately,
another topic, TJ, that I had suggested that would go right nicely into maybe this point is the personalities or the values that we bring to our clients as far as, are we patient? Are we, kind? Are we thinking on our feet? And one of the things that I was thinking this morning was of all of the attributes that you can have to try to keep the deal going smoothly. I think the biggest one for me is confidence. I was thinking about this morning because the bottom line is we can be many things, but if if you come up short in one category, if you're confident about it, you look like you know what you're doing. And I just think
yeah.
being a
I,
confident realtor can get you through the things that we were just talking about. You have to just take control of the situation and just make stuff happen like you
you know,
want it.
one of my mental flaws is I'm like a hothead, and like sometimes I have to check my emotions because I get mad. Like I get mad at dumb shit that can be avoided. But one of my strengths I would say is when I go to the walkthrough, or if it's the night before, the morning of, like we're closing tomorrow. I don't give a shit what obstacle comes between now and tomorrow.
Yeah,
We're closing tomorrow.
right.
And I think that you're right. It's the confidence of like, yeah, I've been here before. We're gonna handle this. It's just a matter of how. It rubs off on your clients, and I feel like when you have an experienced agent, inexperienced agent, sometimes they come with like panic when something's not perfect,
Right.
and it rubs off on the other party. I really believe that. Yeah, when you see that panic in their face, like, what do we do? There's no dryer. Like, relax, we'll figure it out. It's no big deal. You know.
Yeah, but part
I'm
of what
with you.
comes
My
with
God,
confidence,
I gotta tell it.
huh?
Friggin' these roads. This road over here, 117 in Rhode Island.
Deb
Did we
had
lose
something to
him?
say. Oh, the signal's also terrible too. But you know what? Deb's got something to say about the roads in Rhode Island too.
Yeah. Oh, actually, before we get to the roads in Rhode Island, let me just tell you the worst story I have that I just thought about. I was the seller agent on a property in Cumberland, and it was a very large house. And my client had, his wife had passed. He was younger, and it was him and his 20-something-year-old son. And I just had a feeling that he wasn't going to have what it takes to sort of pull off emptying the house out because he was just a very slow mover. And I went to the house early the morning of closing, and he had a very small moving truck. It was pouring rain, and he was sitting in his kitchen. And I think he had taken something to calm his nerves, but he took too much of them. It
Oh my
was
God.
unbelievable. There were his cats were running around, so I'm like, oh my God, so and so, what's the plan here? We're gonna need a bigger truck, right? He can't find his credit cards because he packed the credit cards, right?
Oh my God.
So I called, we call our people, whoever I could get, people that help with moves, and I ended up getting a bigger truck delivered. But I was in a suit, and I remember being in the shed pulling tarps, and there was like rat feces. It was disgusting.
Yep.
But we got it closed. And then he's like, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do with my cat. So my friend who's a cat lover, I called her up. I'm like, Christine, please just come and take this cat. And she had the cat for like 4 days before he could pull it together. But yeah, making sure your client is physically and mentally ready for the pulling the plug is very important. That was a nightmare, but we got it done.
But that's happened to me before. Like the night before closing, I show up and none of my client stuff is moved out of the house. I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like, we're closing tomorrow. I'm like, you have to be out of here tomorrow. So I was in there trying to help him, and he's like, oh, I can't do anything. My back hurts. And I'm like, so I'm over there. I asked my husband to come over. We're moving everything out of the house. We're like, I'm like, it was just ridiculous. Some of his stuff ended up at my house. I had 3 vehicles, and like we had to actually escrow money to remove the rest of the vehicles and a broken down boat after closing because he couldn't get all his stuff out of the property on time.
But you know what
But
the funny part of that is we always maintain professionalism. So when I walked in the house, the non-realtor Deborah was not I couldn't show that person because it's like I walk in and the kitchen table, there's nothing on it but like a bottle of medication. And he looks like he's drooling at this point. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Oh, I think I want to grab some of that medication.
I'm almost like, is there enough for everybody? Because we had a problem, and it's pouring rain, and I'm in a suit with the heels, and yeah.
Oh,
So trying to
but
maintain professionalism in some of these instances, it takes a skill.
do you know
yeah.
in other states the seller, like on their standard sales agreement, gives a number of days to move out of the property after the closing? Like,
Really?
like being out before closing is kind of a New England thing, like a Northeast thing. Like if you're on the
Really?
west, yeah, if you're on the West Coast, it's customary where like when you close on a Monday, you got till Sunday to get out.
Oh my
I
God.
find it
I
to be
can't even
crazy
imagine.
because like I'm buying this. I don't know. I feel like with squatters' rights and every other damn thing, I wouldn't risk it. But yeah, in other parts of the country, it's standard.
So you know what's funny? Yesterday I got a call from a person. I used to have a welding company, and this gentleman called asking me about the welding company, and he has a very strong Southern accent. So I say, can I help you with something? He needed something. I said, well, the business is no longer operational, but how can I help you? But the way I was talking was totally New England, like so the guy says, here I am trying to help him. And he said to me, what is wrong with you? He says, you sound like such a bee. And I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, well, what? He goes, the way you're talking so aggressively. So I'm like, sir, you're from the South and I'm from the North. I am trying to help you, but it might sound like I might want to kill you. I don't know. But and then he hung up on me. That was just yesterday. So there is a
Oh my
difference
God.
in, people that are in the South that are just so kind and so trusting and take a week to move out. In New England, we'll kill each other.
Listen, get the fuck
Oh
out
my
of here.
God.
It's not yours
Totally
anymore. Don't
different.
don't come back.
That
Oh
happened
my God.
yesterday. So
That's crazy. You know what? While you mentioned that, because you mentioned you used to run a welding company, just so people get a little bit more of like your background, can you just give us a quick synopsis of who you are, where you came from? Because you have such an interesting story.
So I grew up in Bristol. I've lived in Cranston for over 30 years. I'm going to give you the fast forward because it's pretty lengthy, but I spent my early first 30 years of my life in the legal profession. I worked on Wall Street and I did a lot of like corporate negotiation. Um, I've had a catering business. I've owned a welding company for over 10 years, microscopic welding in Johnston. I had a charter boat business in Galilee. I was the only woman owned charter boat business in Galilee. Um, Codzilla was my boat, and
Oh,
we had
that's awesome.
to sell that, and in real estate and various other things in between. But my best thing is I'm a mom of two adult people. My son Thomas is 25, great, successful, good human, and my daughter Gianna equally. She's 31. She just got married, and I have my first grandson, Angelo.
Yeah.
So, and then Christopher is my person. 17 years we've been together. Of course, there's always a call that comes in. Sorry. And then I'm with Christopher for 17 years. And he's been involved with a lot of these ventures with me. But yeah, and then I'm very close to my faith. I live and practice real estate with my faith first always. And I'm very philanthropic. I'm on a lot of boards, hospitals, and Greater Providence Board of Realtors, and I mentor the wonderful realtors that come into HomeSmart that are newer. We have an amazing mentorship program here. So that's
We're
kind
trying.
of it in a nutshell. But it's a fun life. Oh, I
Wait a
do
minute.
cooking classes
Wait.
too.
You oh my son. Oh my goodness. My son started cooking classes yesterday at school.
Nice,
Yep. They won't let him. They don't cook on the first day, but he made a dessert. They made a dessert yesterday. He has to wear this corny looking apron, which I made fun of him for wearing. Um,
nice.
You're so terrible.
How old is he?
11.
Nice.
Yeah, they do it the first Wednesday of every month or something like that. I don't know. Yesterday was the first one. He loved it. Loved it.
That's fun.
Wait, so you know how to drive a boat,
Well, I have a captain.
but do you know how to drive it?
Yes, I could drive it, but what I'll tell you is I'm more entrepreneurial and I find opportunities that, well, all I can say is like when people say, "Oh, you would never be interested in this." Well, you can't really say that about me because I'm all about the adventure and every single thing I just told you that I do, there's a huge story behind them. We could do shows on each thing, but even like the boat coming in from Long Island, it was like all the canvas was all shredded on it. The only dock space I could get at the time was this high-end marina down in South County. It cost a fortune, and we pull up like the clampets, in the boat, and it's diesel, and all the black smoke is coming, all the canvas is shredded, and all the sort of professional boat owners were looking at us like, who the
Oh my
hell
God.
are these people? But
Oh
it's
my
all
God.
fun. Like everything in my life has a big story, and they're all
You are an amazing person and an amazing cook. Deb is the kind of person where she literally will cook up and just invite everyone. She just opens her house and like I've gone there sometimes there's like 50, 60 people in her house just because she's like, I'm gonna cook today. Does anybody want to come over?
it's fun. And with the realtors, we can get 30 people on a Tuesday. We've done it.
Yep, yep. You're an amazing person. Got any other fun, interesting stories for us?
Well, the last topic that I mentioned to you that I think is so hot right now, that and TJ being in the car, you're gonna love this. So I drive an Alfa Romeo sports car. My kids are grown. I've done all the SUVing in my life, so I've got my beautiful Alfa Romeo, and it's a fast car. But I'm very good with driving appropriately, a realtor appropriately, TJ, right? So about a month ago, one day I got 4 citations in the mail that came. I never had seen anything like this, but they were all like warnings. But I got 4 of them in one day, and I'm like, what the hell is this? So apparently there's a new thing that these cities and towns are doing, where they're sending you notices if you're going over the speed limit. So we all do this, but you don't know that somebody's really watching, like, you're 5 miles over or whatever. So I was like mortified by that. So I've been practicing more conscious speed, less speed in my driving. And yesterday I got another one in the mail, and it was for $50. They're charging now. I was 11 miles over the speed limit for $50.
So I get them I get them all the time, and the worst is you can't even write them off on your taxes. But I'll use put something in a memo line, letting them know what I think.
Okay.
Like the scumbag mayor fundraiser. Like I'll do shit like that because
Yeah.
Providence just passes them out. But I can tell you, yesterday I had to go from Warwick to East Providence, and it was like the showing was at 6 o'clock.
Right.
It was a 42-minute ride
Yep.
from Warwick to East Providence, and it's like shame on this friggin' state. Like you bust my chops about going 5 miles over the speed limit, but you don't have a fucking road that works in this entire state. Like,
Well, then you're right. You have to go over the speed limit because we're so behind because of the
yeah,
the
like
condition of the road.
maybe I wouldn't be flying on this paved road if the last 8 roads I didn't have to do 6 miles an hour on to avoid, like, I need an alignment like every 3 weeks in this car. Like
Like when you get a clean stretch of road, you're going 90.
yes.
It's true. So yeah, I'm not happy about that. So I paid it, and I left one in my car because, being in the business of real estate, we work out of our car. So I'm always dashing here and there. And then you add good music to the ride, and you can go 80. You don't even understand that. So I think I'm going to start using my cruise control just because I can't deal with this.
I'll tell you what though, then you'll realize how slow the speed limit is.
Yes.
Like 55 on the highway feels slow when you're used to doing, 65. And I don't think anyone's speeding that's doing 65. I think, but the little side road ones where they try and catch you going 36 in a 25, and it's like 25 miles an hour. I feel like I run that fast.
Exactly. And I mean,
Yeah.
I have situational awareness, so I'm not like a superhuman, but I feel like a lot of the signage that is out there, like when you come to so I am not a lawbreaker, but I'm just telling you what's in my head sometimes. You pull up to a four-way stop, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, there is no one on the road, and you find yourself like sitting there at a light or something, and you're like, that just wicked burns me. I sit there through the light, but it's like there's no one on the road. But anyway, I shouldn't be complaining about this.
Holly, do they even have traffic laws where you are? Or are you guys just allowed to like do whatever the hell you want?
Oh, we have traffic laws. We do. And I'll tell you what, it's stressful. Like, I think I was explaining this with my son learning how to drive because we have a lot of bad accidents, like on the 2 main roads to get to like my house, which is Route 101. They both come from Connecticut, like through Rhode Island to get to Connecticut. And people freaking fly. And when there's double cross lines, people still pass when they're not supposed to pass and stuff. And then my son has it in his head, probably because I think my husband told him this, that if you have more than 5 cars behind you, or if you have like more than 3 cars or whatever behind you, then you're going too slow. So he's not so concerned about staying with the speed limit. He's trying to speed up because the cars behind him are piling up. I'm like, you can't do that. But
You know what feels really good though? What feels really good is when someone's behind me and you can tell that they're trying to push you out of the way. And they're acting berserko, like I just pull over and I give them the very wide, come on, go ahead. And then, within 2 minutes, we're all at a light and they're in front of me. Like that kind of stuff is annoying, but we're all about good traffic behavior. But sometimes we're human too.
Are we on the highway doing 80 doing a podcast? So I don't know if I can co-sign that.
But I think we saw, and I can't see it now because your name thing is blocking it, but you were wearing your seatbelt.
Well, I'm parked in.
Okay.
I'm near work, but there was a whole bunch of cops over here doing construction. So I pulled into like where Shake Shack is to sit in the parking lot because I didn't want to drive by the cops.
You were wearing your seatbelt today. I'm very proud of you.
We're very happy.
I got a ticket for breaking the hands-free law in Warwick not too long ago. I was leaving the office, and the guy pulled me over, and I'm like, I was like, this is like doing a breathalyzer outside of a bar. I go, I'm a realtor. I'm like, we're on the phone. And he said, I was wicked nice to the guy, and he was young. all the cops are young. And he said you can get all your first one's free. So the first one is free. Like they give you a ticket and then they send you an email saying like, don't do it again. Give us like $45 and just don't do it again. You don't have to come to court. Yeah, I already got one, so I don't want to push my luck with that hands-free thing.
I will say I'm pretty good with the speeding because I don't speed too much, but on those side roads where it's like 20 miles an hour, like I don't catch that I'm going maybe 25, 30 miles an hour, and I have gotten those tickets. But I am trying so hard to not use my phone, but at the same time, I'm literally on the road 90% of the time. And as a realtor, I'm like, okay, at a stoplight or like, and I find it more confusing to try to use the hands-free settings, like using the Bluetooth on my phone. It starts calling somebody else, then I'm fumbling around with it and I'm trying to get it to stop calling that person. And then I'm more distracted than if I just pick up my phone and push, call this person. But I have gotten pulled over for that in Little Compton. The cop's like, you're
Wow.
not from around here. What are you doing all the way out here? I'm like, I'm helping somebody buy a house.
Where it's really bad in East Bay, because I have family in Bristol, and I don't know, maybe 3 times in a row, like within a couple of weeks, I would be like I have the phone going through my car, but being that we have I's at the end of our names, a lot of times this phone is in my hand, but I'm not on the phone. I'm just talking with my hands with the phone through the car.
Yeah.
And I got stopped by a police officer in Warren. And what is it with these police officers? They're like 12. I mean, I know I'm
They are.
getting older, but I'm like, who are you? Like, it's Halloween and you're dressed up as a cop. And the guy's like, ma'am, you have to use your Bluetooth. I go, I am using my Bluetooth. He said, yeah, but I saw you with your phone in your hand. And I literally said to him, dude, I'm Italian. I talk with my hands and my phone was in my hand, but I wasn't on the phone. So I got away with it. But
Did he let
yeah,
you go?
you gotta be creative with what's the truth. And I'm like,
You know,
what
my,
the
my
hell
father
is
told me
that?
a long time ago, he said that you'll realize you're old when cops and baseball players start looking like children, and he's right. Like you watch big
Oh, it's so true.
because
Yeah.
those guys like these guys are like the cops are. I mean, my friends are retiring. I had 2 friends retire this year that were North Providence police, and to think that they're retiring, like they're 46 and retired. You got these kids are like 28 years old.
So
When
let
they
me
pulled
tell
me
you
Younger.
over,
where
it's
it
like,
starts.
You're
Because I'm
younger.
older than both of you. So where it really starts, you're going to see it, is on like television. So you'll start noticing commercials or people who are like popular in on the TV scene, and you look at them and you're like, that's the wife. Like, because to me, being older, they look like they could be the daughter, you know? But what happens is when you hit your 40s and then your 50s, and I'm 62, at this age, I'm looking at some of the actors from when we were younger that are doing like Cialis commercials.
you know, Joe
It's so
Namath is
true.
doing like
Those.
Joe Namath is doing commercials. He was like a heartthrob in like my mother's era, and now he's doing like I don't know ED commercials or whatever the hell he's doing.
So this is what, yeah, when they're wearing Depends and they're your age, you're like, what the frig is going on?
I will say, I just actually saw a Saturday Night Live skit with Jimmy Fallon and Saved by the Bell cast.
Yeah.
And I was dying because I was like, holy crap, they look fantastic.
Oh,
Like script,
Aiden looks
of
like
course,
he's still 20.
he does. Like, and he pulls off his clothes and does like a ballet thing. And he's like,
Oh,
but they all looked fantastic. And I had to look up, I'm like, how old are they? And they're like 5 or 6 years older than me, but like they look fantastic. But then there are a lot of actors, I'm like, oh, I was like, that guy looks familiar. And I look him up, I'm like, oh my God, that was that hot guy that, was like wicked cute. And
But look
he
at
just,
Tom Selleck.
oh,
Tom Selleck has done the whole full thing, right? I think now we're going to see him like at Nautilillo doing commercials for Nautilillo
oh
funeral.
yeah. Tom
He's
Selleck's
done
doing
it all, Tom
Tom
Selleck.
Selleck's he's pushing reverse mortgages that like people are the kids
Tom
are
Selleck.
I'm getting these sales right where the kids are like my parents left me the house. I had this just happened to me. The 2 daughters call me. One of the daughters calls me. I meet the 2 daughters. They think their parents left them a house, right? They didn't know that the parents had taken out a reverse mortgage.
oh,
They had like $1 of equity in the house. Like I
So
had to,
listen, they go to you. Who's Tom Selleck? Is it our cousin?
my goodness. And I'm like, the commercial sounds so good, but man, that interest accrues. And Tom Selleck is like, I know this product. I trust this product. And I'm like, you're a scumbag. These people are taking their nest egg and just getting rid of it. And the kids, I had to work for like a percent because there was just like no money there. I'm like, yeah,
Aw.
Example of
I'll
how
just,
they show up on television is, remember when on Friends he was Monica's boyfriend? I don't know if you even watched Friends.
yes.
I was like, how does that even look right? I mean, he's handsome, but like she's 10 and he's 70. I don't know.
Oh my God.
Not
I
seeing
didn't see
it.
that episode.
You'll
That's
start
crazy.
seeing it on these shows where it happens. But anyway,
Oh my
Listen, we
God.
don't have left. At least my battery does, and you guys are going to probably close the show
yes.
without me. Deb, I want to ask you this because I think it's important because we do like to drop some knowledge, right? You had these condos that were going to be named something, and then you changed the name to something else, right? So I want you to tell that story real quick because the first name, I think, to me sounded like a housing project. And
Yes.
then with your guidance, the seller changed it to something more meaningful. And I think that's a really cool story because sometimes it's all in the name.
So first of all, thank you for listening when I talk to you. So I have an opportunity I'll make it quick, with this young man who's not done any developing. He's a site guy, and we got a great property, and we're in the process of building them, and I'll be listing them in probably November 1st on Coeisa in Warwick. But the story is, the property project came to us with the name of Falcon Crossing, and it just didn't sound good to me. It just had like, I felt like I was going to get scooped up by birds and killed. But what I did is
That's where I would have went to buy pot in high school. Like, where are you going? Falcon Crossing.
yeah, exactly. So what I did was, as a realtor, we always have to figure out what the motivation is with our clients. So with this particular developer, I needed to plug into what his motivation is to get him to really push on this. So in our conversations, he also has an I at the end of his name, and very close to his mom who had passed away. So I had said to him, "Well, talks about his mother-in-law," and I'm like, "What was her name?" So he said, "Teresa." So I said, "Oh, what a beautiful name that is." And it's Teresa spelt with a T-E-R, right? So I said to him, "Gee, why don't we change the name of the condo development to Teresa Ann Crossings?" That's his mom's name. And he's like, "Oh my God, can we do that?" So I said, "You go build these, and I'm going to work on getting the name changed." So I did. I was successful in getting the city to recognize the new name, that to rename the streets that are going to be part of this project. And let me tell you, for motivation purposes, whenever I need him to like do more or something, I'm like, just think how proud your mom is going to be of you when you're done with this. So it really was a great idea, and it works. So they're coming on the market probably in a week.
You
Oh
Teresa,
know,
my God, I love it.
eight
I
in
love it.
that's such a
in
good story.
condos.
Because it's not just about closing deals. Sometimes you gotta do a little extra, and that's like hard to quantify what that extra was that you did right there. But I think that really speaks to you actually giving a shit about your clients.
Yeah, we
Right.
all do that.
Cool. I'm gonna let you ladies take it home from here because I'm at 5% and I don't want to black out without saying goodbye. So I will see you all in the office in about 5 minutes with my dead phone. It's really good to see you, Deb. Thanks for coming on. Do it
Thank
again.
you so much. Thank you. Bye.
That's awesome. Well, Deb and I can keep talking. Do you have anything else you'd like to share with us?
Um, so I guess we can end on mentorship and maybe home smart, if if it's okay to do that on the podcast. But like,
Yeah, that's totally
I
fine.
just feel that I've been a realtor for 13 years, and I really love the company that we're with, and I love the mentorship program. And we are really creating some great quality real estate agents within this company. And I am right now working, I have one that's graduating. I have someone else who's on his fifth deal who's graduating. But why I do mentorship is because it'll be like a legacy for me to know that I'm sort of raising or bringing up some newer realtors that have old school values, and just teaching them sort of, there's all the AI now, and you can do this and that, but I'm all about old school and just doing things sort of like the old fashioned way, and it works because my business is successful. But bringing new realtors into the business and into our company is something I think every realtor at Home Smart really values. So,
Mhm.
and I think other colleagues outside the company will be happy to do a deal with a Home Smart Realtor because they're very quality and care about what they're doing with their business. So I think that's
I
a
100% agree. I've been with HomeSmart now since 2019. And I've been kind of watching and hearing about the mentorship program, and I became a mentor this year. One of my absolute favorite things to do is to mentor other people. Even when I was in the property management end of things, the most rewarding part was to mentor the interns we had or the young kids coming into the office. And so I have 4 mentees right now, and I love the fact that I get to, they're kind of like your children, right? You get to teach them how you do things and stuff. And the way we have the program here is when someone is a new agent and they are paired with a mentor for the first 5 transactions, but they get to pick that mentor and the mentor gets to pick them. So you get to meet, so you get to get matched with people that your personalities meet. And you, so I have some mentees right now that I absolutely adore and we jive really good. And then they're also the first people that if I need coverage somewhere, if I have too much going on and I need to refer out a client or something, I'm like, here, you take this and I'll help you through it. And I absolutely, absolutely love that.
I think it keeps us fresh too as realtors because we're really learning every day. I mean, the market's always changing. The deals, I always tell everyone it's like getting dealt a hand of cards. You play the hand you get, and they're always different hands. But by being a mentor, it keeps me fresh. And if I'm preaching to the newer agents, I'm making sure that I'm doing the stuff that I'm telling them that they should be doing. And sometimes when you're in something for a while, your stuff falls off the table and you're just constantly picking up and sort of regrouping, and it just makes my skills better as well. So anyway, I really thank you for having me on. I think this was so much fun, and I'm available the next time if you need someone.
Awesome. Can you tell everyone where they can find you?
Sure, you can find me at HomeSmart. I have an office, which I'm in right now in Warwick on Quaker Lane. We have multiple offices throughout the state. I work in Rhode Island, Mass, and Connecticut. But I also like to meet with people who maybe don't know what they want to do. I have consultations constantly with people who have aging parents or even in divorce situations because of my legal experience. I have a good way of meeting with both sides of the marriage and trying to come up with a open communication. So it's anything like that. And then I really love to get younger people involved in investment property, such as like my daughter is my perfect example. Gianna now has 4 houses. She's 31 and she's
Amazing.
really something. But the other thing too is making sure that the people you're talking to, no matter what you're doing, are coachable. You need coachable clients, coachable mentees, just to sort of grow a better community of decision making, really. So
Absolutely. Well, I'm very grateful that you were able to come on today. We're definitely going to have you back because you've got some awesome stories. I know you've got plenty of stories. I'll let everyone know where they can find us. We are the Legit Real Estate Podcast. If you have stories you want to share, or you want to come on the show, you can email us at thelegitrealestatepodcast@gmail.com. We are on Amazon Music and Spotify, and I will fix Apple Podcasts soon, I promise. We are on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. So pretty much everywhere you can find us, we are at. Please like, follow, subscribe. And we are trying to get better at getting more guests on. So it's not just TJ and I telling you all the crap that's going on in our lives. We are very grateful to have you on, Deb. And thank you very much.
all right, have a great day.
Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.